Pro Football Entertainment. What's going on? How you doing, Zane?
I'm doing good, man. How have you been?
We've just been fighting this streaming service for about the past hour.
Yeah,
so I'm not feeling too hot right now.
Yeah, we've literally been trying to figure out how to get it streamed onto Facebook for the past hour. Been a couple arguments, a couple of yellings. Trying to get it figured out so we can get it taken care of.
Well, we are. I'm checking Facebook right now, and we are live.
Been a couple arguments, a couple of yellings. Trying to get it figured out. Oh, that's pretty cool. Yeah, we got it going
live. So if you're tuning in on Facebook, thank you.
Yeah,
we appreciate it.
Yeah, we got this. I don't know if y'all have seen our post or not, but we have this raffle right now for a Diggs jersey, a Diggs signed jersey. Get in on that. We got it going until it closes, until there's no spots left. It's going to help kind of support us with things we're trying to do in the future. And
yeah, like trying to stream this show. We learned life is not free.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
We tried the free way and
didn't work.
So now we're here, though. We're here. And actually, it's probably a good thing we took the time to not do it yet, because we just found out some more interesting news while we were setting up this shebang, huh, Zane?
Yeah, no. Ian Rappaport reported that Jonathan Taylor has requested, after formally meeting with the owner, he's requested for a trade. I guess he didn't like too much what the owner said about running backs pay and stuff like that, saying that they just need to continue on. The players signed it. I don't necessarily agree with it, but yeah, he's now asking for a trade.
I like that, honestly, on a fantasy perspective, because
it depends who he goes to. I
meant for like every other weapon on the Colts.
Yeah,
because they're not just going to run the football every single play. I mean, last year, what was it? Matt Ryan. Yeah, Matt Ryan.
Yeah,
threw the ball like once one game, or was that the year before? Am I mistaken in that?
Are you? I don't think. Are you talking about the Patriots? Patriots.
That's who it was. The Patriots. Yeah.
They threw it like
the
2 times.
Boring game in the world.
I enjoyed it, and then So big news coming out that Jonathan Taylor requested a trade. It's been pretty active with these running backs. You see a lot. I mean, to me, I don't get it because of Saquon. Saquon kind of went back on it, and he ended up signing a deal with $900,000 more when he should have just signed the. Because correct me, I don't know for sure. I'd have to go back and check the rules, but can they franchise tag him next year?
I don't think so. I thought this year's he could either franchise tag him this year.
Well, you can franchise tag a player 2 years in a row.
I'll have to check that out. I need a. You know how I learned actually that each team has a rule guy from the show Quarterback.
Yeah,
we should probably have one of those for PFV.
Yeah,
I did not know that. They literally have a rule guy.
Yeah,
because Mahomes was like, yeah, we had to go talk to our rule guy before we ran the play.
Yeah, no, they have a guy that literally just studies the rule book, and it's pretty interesting.
Yeah, so Jonathan Taylor going somewhere else. What are the odds?
I think it's probably pretty high. I don't think it's going to be on his own terms, though. I think he probably starts this season.
Okay.
With the Colts. And then we'll end up getting moved. Maybe a back gets hurt during the year and a team needs a back. That can be pretty productive, and they end up moving on from him. So
yeah, I could see that. Definitely see that. Barkley. What are your views on Barkley right now in fantasy value?
I mean, he's got to go out there, and he had a prove it year last year, and he did just that. But he's just got another prove it year. He wants to get paid. I think he wants to be around the Christian McCaffreys of the world, the 15 million. I think he's trying to get to that point to where he can get paid. So I think it's another considered prove it year, even though, I mean, every time he's been on the field, he's been the best player on that team by far. It's not even questioned.
Yeah. Danny Dimes actually had a really good year though last year. So I actually was liking the dynamic they were building there in New York. And now Barkley's wanting to be like this.
Well, I think Barkley's just more upset because Daniel Jones wouldn't have been near as good without Saquon.
Well, yeah, but I mean, no running backs are getting paid right now. Like, what's he expect?
I think it's more of like a respect thing that they know that he's been kind of carrying the team when he's been gone. So it's been a little bit. I don't know. We'll see what happens. I think he's there. I don't think he stays with the Giants. He ends up leaving. I think another team's going to offer more money unless all the owners just got together and talked and said that they wanted to not pay running backs. I mean, that's a very good possibility. Which, with the NFL, they kind of set this up this way. The owners and all that, from going out and protecting wide receivers, protecting quarterbacks. Running back is the last position that is being protected.
Well, newsflash, they get hurt every year. Why would you protect them?
Well, it's the same thing. Receivers used to get hurt all the time. Quarterbacks used to get hurt all the time.
Well, now they're protected.
Now they're protected.
There's no protecting a running back.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. And so now there's more value to go ahead and get a stud wide receiver, Jamar Chase, Justin Jefferson, those type of players, because they're going to be more impactful at the end of the day. Because you can go get a freaking running back that plays in a small D1 school and he's going to be able to produce, just because running backs, they just have to read the hole. They got to be able to be patient and read the hole.
Yeah. I had to turn off my virtual background, I think, because it's freaking out.
What do you mean?
I was like turning green and whatnot, so I was just turning it off for you. That's why I was over here fidgeting. So now people, if you didn't know, we're actually sitting right next to each other, so they probably thought we were in different areas. But running backs are definitely gonna end up being a dying breed. No,
I wouldn't say
if college kids see that they're not getting paid, they're not gonna want to play running back.
Well, there was this reporter that came out, and with all the NIL deals that are out now, they were talking about Cedric Baxter from Texas, some of the big running backs from Alabama, LSU, that they're all getting paid now. So there was a running back in the early 2000s that actually went to court to fight the NFL because he thought he was ready to go to the NFL, but he was only 21. So he had to continue playing on more college ball, and so he ended up winning in the first court case. But in the second one, he ultimately ended up losing. But now they're saying with all the money that they can get, they have the money to go ahead and actually hire really good attorneys, so they can actually fight the NFL and maybe make it to
like a minimum wage kind of thing.
No, so where the running backs can actually end up going into the NFL early. That's what a reporter said that he should do.
Okay. Now I'm picking up on that.
The life expectancy of a running back is way down compared to everybody else because they go through a beating. When in reality, by 21, those guys are already built enough to go ahead and go into the NFL. That's why you see so many running backs off the bat.
That makes sense. But I feel like if they do that, they're going to have to do it for every position.
I mean, yeah, it's going to open up a can of worms, but it's all, I mean, the NBA, you play 1 year and you're done.
Yeah. That would change a lot in college football.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
A ton. There wouldn't be no Alabamas and Georgia winning every year.
No, because I think players would want to go where they could go 1 year.
Yeah, so the teams who have the fringe players that play 4 years will probably be actually the ones that dominate. Well, because college is all about experience.
Look at it the same way, too, though. I mean, there's powerhouses in basketball. It's the same way. There's still going to be powerhouses. But
what I'm saying is a fourth-year quarterback in college is way different than a freshman quarterback. A fourth-year player in basketball is about the same as a freshman.
But you got to think about it, the one-offs like Trevor Lawrence. Everyone said his first year that he started, if he was in the draft that year, he would have been the first number 1 overall pick. Yeah. So there are those guys that are out there, but I think it'd be interesting to see if that actually did happen, because I think I understand it, because running backs, the life expectancy of a running back is a lot different to where maybe coming into the NFL earlier would actually be very beneficial.
No, I definitely agree with that take.
So they're not getting just one contract, because after one contract, the running back's dead. They can sign a running back on a rookie deal and have him for 7 years and then spit him out and just open a new one.
Yeah. No, there's no way around that. Like, that is the honest truth.
Yeah.
If they were able to enter the NFL earlier, they would get paid more because they get more time out of them. So
I mean, because you got to think about it. When Zeke was at Ohio State, his last 2 years at Ohio State, he carried the ball 300 times both years.
Yeah, but I don't think Zeke really. I wouldn't say his body has been what has hurt him in the past 2 years. I mean, he's stayed pretty healthy in the NFL. He's had a few,
I mean, his
beatings.
past 3 years, he's had knee problems.
yeah, but not a ton.
And it's the
he
way-
hasn't torn his ACL. He hasn't.
But that's not necessarily what's happening to any of the running backs, though. It's just wear and tear. Those guys just constantly getting banged. If I'm constantly just hitting you on the arm, your arm's going to be sore. I don't have to hit you hard, but if I constantly hit you on the arm, it's going to be sore.
I can see that with a lot of running backs, but I feel like Zeke didn't take a beating in the NFL much. The Cowboys have never just fed him the football.
They've never fed him the football.
No, they've always had the running back too.
They never. No,
Tony Pollard has been there for 3 years.
Tony Pollard came he just now came to the show, just now showed up 2 years ago, and Zeke had already finished his rookie contract.
Yeah, before then, did he didn't get
He
the ball
literally
every
ran
play.
he ran the ball over 360
It wasn't like
times.
Derrick
His
Henry.
usage rate was higher than any other running backs in the league when he was first came out of the college. He just had the wear and tear. Yeah.
I love getting Cowboys fans.
That's not something with a Cowboys fan though. That's anyone in his right mind actually.
Derrick Henry didn't retire after 4 years.
Well, that's he's a man among boys, but he's already starting to wear down. I mean, look, he's been injured. He got injured last year.
Oh man,
I need you to.
I can't wait till the Cowboys lose.
Why?
Because it's just gonna be easy.
I mean, they're gonna lose, just like your Green Bay Packers.
No, you already said you're high on Jordan Love, so now you can't ever go back on that.
I am high on Jordan Love, but they're not gonna win anything. But
so what's your next one? You got Trevon Diggs. We got 2 Cowboys.
Yeah, no. So I got a couple injury updates. Not a lot of people heard this, but Trevon Diggs, Jerry Jones told reporters today that Trevon Diggs is dealing with a toe injury that is keeping him out of training camp, and he could be back as late as the team's week 2 home opener. So there's a good chance that he misses week 1 of the regular season, which we're not super weak on our secondary, so it's not necessarily a bad thing. But it's still a little stab to the heart.
This is right after they signed him, huh? What, he signed a 5-year deal?
I mean, yeah, they signed him, I think, yesterday.
Yeah, and then he got hurt today. Jeez, what's the luck of that?
Oh my gosh! And then another injury update with Kyler Murray.
It's nothing new there.
Yeah, there's no timetable for his return.
What did he hurt his thumb playing Call of Duty?
No, this is from tearing his knee. He said that there's no timetable. They're just kind of taking it day to day at this time. He's not one to rush back. I mean, if I were him, he knows if they're last, there goes his job. So
yeah, no, I really do like Kyler Murray. Like I like him in that situation over there in Arizona.
Yeah,
but I think if he doesn't have a year this year, he might end up being it's a bold take, but like a Mariota.
Oh no, I don't think he'd be that bad.
He was pretty bad last year, man.
I mean,
and
I don't know. We'll have to see what happens.
Because I love Mariota, and the guy just never panned out.
Have you watched Quarterback yet?
Yeah, we're on episode 5.
I was about to say, there's no seasons.
Did you see season 2 though?
A whole bunch of quarterbacks are saying no.
Yeah.
Dak said no.
Did Dak really say no? Because that was my guess for the next.
Yeah. So this was Peyton Manning brought it up in an interview he did. He said, there were some quarterbacks that asked me, Peyton, if you were at this point in my career, would you have done this show? And Peyton Manning said no.
Yeah. He
said now that later on in my career, I would have done it, but.
Well, I felt so bad for Mariota. I mean, basically he lived the whole season again.
Well, they pretty much cut him from the show. After I think episode 5, you don't see him anymore. He comes in at the very end again. Yeah. Really good show. I recommend y'all go.
But I thought it might be like Dak, Rodgers, because
Rodgers ain't doing that. You know,
he's doing Hard Knocks.
Well, it's forced.
Yeah, I don't know, dude.
It's forced.
He oh, you all right?
Yeah.
Jeez.
My neck's hurting.
Everybody saw that too.
My neck's hurting a little bit. Sorry, guys.
Yeah, I would think Dak would love it, or at least Jerry Jones would eat that up.
Well,
Jerry Jones would force him.
Jerry Jones is about to get paid $30 million to do a documentary on Netflix.
Alex Buchanan says Trevor Lawrence is the best QB in the league.
Is he?
Yeah,
That's so funny. Hey, Alex.
there's no shot.
I'm sorry. Patty Mahomes
But
still got
Ridley
that
is going to have an amazing year this year because of Trevor Lawrence. So
We'll see.
I'm glad I have him in like 4 fantasy leagues.
I want to go over another quick injuries real quick.
There's a couple in there that are truly going to affect a bunch of fantasy teams if they already drafted.
Yeah. So Jalen Ramsey, he tore his knee up, tore his meniscus.
I agree, Alex.
He's actually Zane, don't walk it out of here, Alex. Oh my God. Jalen Ramsey tore his knee up. He's gonna be out for the whole year. It's kind of a bummer. We were expecting Howard and Ramsey to kind of be able to shut down.
that honestly was really. That's probably the first injury I've seen that really hurt me, and I'm not even a Dolphins fan. I have a lot of hope and hype for the Dolphins.
Jalen Ramsey got burned pretty bad last year a couple times. Is he on his decline?
He is, and Madden still has him as the number 1 cornerback.
I think is wild.
Yeah, Jair Alexander is better than Jalen Ramsey.
Yeah. No, Sauce Gardner is the best.
So is Sauce.
Sauce Gardner
is
the best DB right now.
Yeah, and that's what I said last episode. Sauce is the number 1, and they put Jalen Ramsey.
And then another big one with
this one's huge.
Joe Burrow. So after this injury happened, someone traded Joe Burrow away. I'm in this dynasty league. They traded Joe Burrow for CJ Stroud and 2 first-round picks next year.
I liked it. You didn't, but then once you told me,
this guy's team has freaking Patrick Mahomes, freaking Joe Burrow. He's got Quentin Johnson. He's got Monroe St. Brown.
Yeah. Once you started reading off these teams,
well, this guy keeps on trading with these fools in our league. He's actually got a really good team. I think he's got a good chance of winning it as long as injuries don't.
I think this injury might be a stepping stone for Joe Burrow. Not really. I don't even know what I'm trying to say. Is I think it might lead to an injury year. Like if you get injured this early, he might have a couple more waiting for him this season.
I think they're going to take it nice and slow, though. I don't think they're going to rush him back.
Yeah.
He's still got a full month of recovery before the season starts.
Is it the same knee as his ACL or same leg as his ACL?
I have no idea.
Because that might have something to do with it.
No, he just probably didn't stretch hard enough.
Well, he probably is too busy thinking he's the best quarterback in the league.
Burrow.
The guy acts like he's already Tom Brady.
Burrowhead.
Yeah. I'm not a fan of Joe Burrow.
Yeah. On the good news, big for fantasy right now, Cooper Kupp is not being limited in training camp right now. He's got no limitations on training camp after going the ankle procedure late last season. They've been pretty much letting him go, letting him ramp up for the season, so he should be ready. He's still going to get a lot of targets. They have no one else. They got Cooper Kupp, and that's about it. So,
yeah,
he's still going to have a good season, barring injury. Hopefully that doesn't happen again.
Do you think that he is going to be top 5 in fantasy this year?
He's got to be. Who else does Matthew Stafford have to throw to?
It's a good point.
So,
who's there now? Is Allen Robinson still there?
No, I think they cut him. I don't know who's there. I think they just have a whole bunch of white guys. Be honest with you.
What's wrong with white people, then?
Nothing wrong with white people, but I don't know their names.
Hunter Renfro's not there, so
no. Hunter Renfro's he's on the fringe of being cut.
No, he was just hyping up Jimmy G today.
No, but seriously, it's been reported that he's on the fringe of being cut.
Already?
Yeah.
Freaking first week of training camp?
He's on the fringe, yeah. So
I don't understand where that 2021 huge year, 2022 fall off.
Yeah, I don't understand how that really happened either. I thought remember when we were drafting last year, Eric, he was like he was trying to tell me not to pick up Hunter Renfrow, and I was just sitting there thinking about who did I draft? I think I drafted Amari Cooper. I think I drafted Amari over Hunter Renfrow. And he was like, yeah, don't take him. He's going to get hurt. And then I drafted Amari Cooper. And then he was like, yes, you did exactly what I wanted you to do. I want him. You can have Amari. And then Amari ended up helping me win the league.
So you really think Cooper Kupp is going to be a top 5 fantasy and PPR?
Yeah. Yeah, I think he will. PPR. Half PPR, maybe not.
And that kind of we'll have a wide receiver episode so we can talk about rankings.
And then another good report: Amari Cooper returns for individual drills Friday. So he had that little tweaked injury that he was kind of dealing with, a little sore. He came back, started practicing again on Friday. So good to hear that he's doing good.
Yeah, I've always been a big Amari Cooper fan, and I think this year him and Watson might do something special. As much as I hate to see that because Deshaun Watson doesn't deserve to be in the NFL, I think they're going to be very special this year. Browns might end up winning that division. I mean, it's their division to win for sure.
Yeah.
Who they got? Steelers or Baltimore?
It's a good division.
Steelers.
Bengals.
Burrow's hurt.
Dude, that team's stacked. They'll be fine.
Nick Chubb is going to have a monster year without Kareem Hunt. So
I would not be surprised.
What are the injuries we got?
T. Higgins. I mean, you got like Jamal Adams. He's been placed on the PUP list. He's been able to unperform, listed on Wednesday. Zach Ertz. Poor Zach Ertz. He hurt my heart. He's been able to unperform. He's still injured. Other than that, I mean, there was a couple of big injuries that were happening. Tony Pollard, he's easing back into practice at the start of camp. He's not pushing with recovering from his fibula. He's easing back into it, working with the Cowboys trainers just to make sure that he doesn't push himself too hard. Kyle Pitts, he's been in the training camp with a knee brace on from last year. So
yeah, I'm hoping this year Kyle Pitts finally lives to his standards because I finally got him in all of like my dynasty leagues.
Did you?
For cheap because he just hasn't.
Yeah, he's been absolutely awful.
So I'm hoping that he pans out this year and does something that we all expect him to do out of college.
Yeah.
It's a miracle, though, if he does, because
big news from San Francisco. So San Francisco is interesting this year. They have a quarterback battle that is, I think, going to come down to the wire. They got 3 quarterbacks that I think could all play, especially in Kyle Shanahan's team. Brock Purdy, he is cleared for camp. First day of camp, the reports were saying that Brock Purdy looked like he was getting back to form, looked really good. And then there was another report that said Sam Darnold looked like the best quarterback out there. So it's going to be interesting to see on how Kyle Shanahan kind of breaks that down. Me personally, I think it's Brock Purdy's job to lose. After doing what he did last season, I think he's going to be able to get that taken care of. And then also on the defensive side of the ball, Nick Bosa, he not expected to be at training camp. He said he wants that new deal. He's holding out of camp. If they don't renew his contract, he's not coming back anytime soon. Also with, yeah. I was going to say something else, but I'll add it on later.
What?
I'll say it later.
Okay.
It's just another player doing something.
So is that all like the little injury updates and whatnot?
Yeah, that's pretty much it on injury updates.
Yeah, that's what I thought. So I really wanted to dive in. I know this is kind of just going to be like an update episode and just talk about news in the NFL now that training camp started. I wanted to dive in on some of the free agents that are still out there, and we see a lot of them are fishing around now, including your boy Zeke. What is he visiting the Patriots today or tomorrow?
No, he visited them today.
Has there been any news out after?
So yeah, there has been news after. What kind of came out is that they met. Actually, Bill Belichick talked to Stephen Jones before they met, just to make sure everything was still going good and that to kind of see where they thought Zeke's process was at. I think I'm not really sure why they wanted to talk to him, but with that, Zeke did meet with him. He ended up leaving. He's no longer at the Patriots facility. They came out without a deal. There was no deal made.
Yeah.
They said they're going to stay in contact.
Has anyone seen Zeke lately? Has he gained a ton of weight?
No, dude. He's been practicing still with like Dak Prescott. He's been running routes with them.
Really?
Practicing with the Cowboys players.
Awesome. So. Well, speaking of another running back, there was news yesterday that Dalvin Cook was asked like the odds of him becoming a Jet, and he basically said like it's pretty high. To me, I don't understand why the Jets would want him. That would probably take up a lot of their salary cap for one.
Sell tickets. That's all.
But they have Brees Hall
Sell tickets.
and the other kid from North Carolina. What's his name? He was actually on Twitter. He's 5'9.5". Did you see that video?
Yeah.
What's it? Michael Carter.
Yeah.
He started laughing because he said he's a was it Tall King or whatever he was saying in the video.
Talking.
Tall King, like Tall King.
Oh,
like
talking.
crown.
Yeah, he was. Yeah.
But they asked him how tall he was, and he said 5'8", 5'9", and he was 5'9.5". So he
Well, there was another player that they asked to measure, and he was like, "Nah."
yeah.
He was like, "No, I'm good. I lied about my height."
Yeah, that's exactly what Michael Carter said too. So I don't know why Dalvin Cook would want to go there with Brees Hall.
I mean, you don't think he wouldn't play?
Oh, he would definitely
it would
play.
suck for the people that have Brees Hall in fantasy. If you're a fantasy owner of Brees Hall, you do not want Dalvin Cook going over there because then they're going to split carries 50-50.
Yeah. I just always thought Dalvin Cook liked being the guy.
I don't think he really minds at this point. I think he's trying to just win.
Get paid and win.
Yeah, I think
He
he's
should have
trying to
stayed
win.
with Kirk. My favorite quarterback. Unfortunately, plays for the Vikings.
Cheaper by the cousins, baby.
You like that?
But yeah, no. I don't know what Dalvin Cook's gonna do. The another running back that's been funny. So
Fournette.
no, Josh Jacobs. This isn't even a guy that's.
Yeah, he might sit out.
Yeah, so they reported that he left Vegas, and on his report, he said, "I ain't coming back for quite a while." So he's gonna be sitting out. I think running backs need to learn their lessons from the running backs that have set out and ended up freaking Zeke. After he set out, trash.
Le'Veon Bell.
Le'Veon Bell. After he set out, lost out on like 50 or what was it, like 10 or 12 mil.
Yeah, did you
And
see
he's
what
never
he said? He regrets it. He
Yeah.
apologized to Pittsburgh fans.
Yeah, he said, I wish I would have never done it.
Yeah.
It ruined his career.
Literally ruined it.
Yeah.
Speaking of ruining careers, this is a bold take, but Deontay Johnson was carted off the field yesterday also. We forgot to mention that.
I did.
But I think his career is ruined because of poor quarterback play over there. And And when there is a good throw made, it's Pickens gets it. So
don't you be saying
and I
Pickett's
love
bad.
Kenny Pickett let me down last year.
Well, you trusted on him too early. Year 2, year 3, he's gonna make a big jump. Kenny Pickett's gonna have a good
But
quarterback.
Deontay Johnson was my favorite fantasy receiver for the last couple of years because Big Ben just literally dumped it off to him.
Dumped it off and let him go.
And now Pickett.
There's been high praise on Kenny Pickett. I'm
a huge Pickett guy, but I think Deontay Johnson's career in general is done unless he gets out of there.
I find it so crazy because the Steelers used to be so good at producing receivers.
I know. Hines Ward.
I think their first bust was Chase Claypool.
Yeah, and I think he might actually be in a better system.
For him, yeah.
Yeah, for him. But yeah, they used to have I don't know. I think some of these old school coaches are needing to reevaluate how they call the game.
What do you mean?
Like they're not changing the way the game's changing.
How do you want them to change? What coaches?
It's obvious Mike Tomlin needs to change his game plan. He has been successful in
Last year was the first year he wasn't over. He was
yeah,
under
but I'm talking about Pittsburgh Steelers caliber football.
Mike Tomlin isn't an offensive-minded coach. He's a defensive-minded coach.
But he still makes all the decisions. He could tell his offensive coordinator, "Hey, it's time for a change."
So the past couple of years, who has he had? He had Big Ben that was washed and too old and could barely throw the ball 20 yards.
But he has Najee Harris and doesn't use him at all.
Najee Harris got hurt.
Not every year.
Not every year, but he got hurt for a while there. You realize at the end of last year, the last 9 games of the season, the Steelers went 7-2.
I get that. I'm the one that predicted them to win the division.
I don't think they're going to win the division, but they'll go to playoffs.
But I'm just saying, I feel like Tomlin's offense could use a new spark.
I don't think it's going to be a coaching change.
No, it can't be a coaching change.
I
said reevaluate their decisions. Like the game has changed, and I think he needs to adapt to it. But same with Belichick. Look at his offense.
Belichick was made from Tom. It was never Belichick. Tom Brady.
I can't believe you just said that. You just
Dude,
disrespected
it's been
Belichick.
proven. What do you mean?
No, and my philosophy has been proven too. They just need to change their style.
No, Tom Brady just carried that offense. And Mike McDaniel, they just carried the
What
offense.
about Matt Castle?
What about Matt Castle?
When he went to the playoffs, when Brady was hurt.
Who were their receivers?
Probably everybody, because they used to have everyone.
No, I think, okay.
Am I wrong, though, that their philosophy of the game is a little old?
No, I wouldn't say it's old. I think they took away a lot of their advantages with the defenses.
Defenses have changed.
The defense, because they can't do a lot of things that they used to do. They took away a lot of the aggression of the game away. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's still a violent sport, but it's not near as bad as what it was.
I guess. Yes, it's not near as violent, but how would that? They should adapt to the gameplay is what I'm saying. They haven't changed their offense at all.
Well, like it comes to the fact, like it's just little things that have happened. You can't cut an O-line that's outside the box.
Yes.
That changes the way screens are played.
And there's a whole lot more man being played now too, correct?
Yeah, they play a lot of different type of mans, cover ones, robbers. But that's, I think,
I'm not a big defensive guy, so that's why I was making sure.
I mean, they still play quarters though quite a bit. Quarters, especially against Kansas City, quarters is pretty much played very, very often with
with Mahomes.
With Mahomes,
which
even with the Dolphins, there's a lot of quarters.
Yeah, but no, I just thought it was interesting to bring up the Steelers because I don't know how we got on that whole rant, but I just knew we skipped over a key injury.
I wasn't.
But Deontay Johnson got carted off the field yesterday. But we'll get back into free agents. Fournette, has there been any update on him? He went and visited the Patriots.
Patriots I'm telling you, a lot of people are high on Stevenson out of the Patriots.
I love Stevenson, so I really hope.
Bill Belichick does not have a workhorse running back ever. And the last workhorse running back.
I know, it's so frustrating.
They're trying to sign someone because they know that they can't have a workhorse running back.
Yeah.
Honestly, it's because they probably don't want to pay him either.
Well, yeah. I don't think, unless that thing goes through that you were talking about in the court, I don't think running backs are getting paid ever again.
Yeah, I agree.
I think it's going to be a lot of the same thing every year. All of the news saying basically running backs holding out, running backs don't want to play. They don't care about us. We're disrespected. And I think that's going to be the way the game is until anything happens.
Yeah. A couple news is a little bit of news just kind of going through of training camp so far. Jackson Smith-Njigba, he has earned early praise on Geno Smith. Geno Smith's been liking him, saying he's had an impressive start to training camp. CJ Stroud, Texans have not named a rookie quarterback the starter just yet. They want to make sure that he's not rushed into the starting quarterback, despite him being the second overall pick. He's splitting reps right now with Davis Mills.
Yeah, Davis Mills blows. So Stroud would have that job real fast.
Yeah.
Yeah, once the fans decide that they don't want to go to games because they're losing, the owner of that team will put Stroud in there real fast for ticket sales.
I'm sure he'll end up winning it at the end of it. I think they're just trying to be smart with it.
They're just trying to.
They're just
trying to create news where there doesn't need to be news. That's all that is.
They just don't want him to. They don't want to ruin his confidence so early.
Well, going to Houston already did that.
Odell Beckham Jr., he's had no limitations.
I'm so over Odell.
On what he can do in camp. I mean, it is what it is.
I just feel like there's always drama every year for him.
Yeah.
Like,
have you? Yeah.
Like, just play football.
No, I mean, I don't think he's much of a diva anymore, though. I think he's actually become a lot.
Yo, he's definitely a lot better teammate.
Yeah.
But I just feel like everybody's always talking about him on the news and social media. I'm like, the guy's not that great anymore. Like, he still gets talked about all the time.
Yeah,
like, don't get me wrong, he would have been if he stayed healthy, there's no telling what he would have done on a football field. But when he tore both ACLs now, in both legs.
Yeah, no, he's
Like-
pretty mad. He's like my cousin.
I was like, let's move on. Like Cole Beasley resigned. No one puts an article of him up. Then he signed with the Giants. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah,
No.
it's just I feel like there's always articles about Odell Beckham.
Another good thing is Calvin Wrigley. Have you seen his videos on social
Yeah,
media?
that's what I was saying. He's having a huge year.
He is fast, making Zay Jones look like he's
He's
walking.
mentally healthy. He's not gambling, and he's ready to win me a fantasy championship.
Yeah, he is looking faster every time I've seen a video.
He makes fast people look not fast.
Yeah, no, exactly.
I'm a big Ridley guy.
They've been really impressed with him.
If you track the show, we had free Ridley T-shirts last season. I love Calvin Ridley, and I think what the NFL did to him was just wrong. They let Dan Snyder run a whole team, but Calvin couldn't place a 3-team parlay on his day off.
Oh gosh.
So,
With Justin Herbert, I don't believe this one bit. But
did you see his contract?
yeah, it's a
Man
nice
got
contract.
paid.
Yeah, he did. They're gonna end up shuffling it around. Patrick Mahomes is looking at him like, yeah, you got paid, but I'm gonna go ahead and win another chip real quick.
You think Chiefs win again this year?
No.
Okay.
I haven't made that decision yet. Once it gets closer to the season, we'll go over that during preseason.
Well, we always do a power rankings right before the season kicks off.
Yeah, we'll do
So-
that. But they say Justin Herbert is expected to throw a deep ball more this season. I've seen the way Kellen Moore called plays.
It's a Quentin Johnson, baby.
They're saying that he hasn't taken over
Keenan Allen.
Keenan Allen or
No, I don't think
Mike
he
Williams.
will. But I mean, those guys get hurt 6 times a year, so he'll be on the field.
Yeah.
Mike Williams gets hurt literally every other snap, and still ends up being a top 8 fantasy wide receiver. I don't know
Dude
how
just
it's
catches
possible.
bombs, man. Dude just catches bombs.
Like it blows my mind every year his rankings, and you're like, I feel like he missed 8 games. That's what it feels like.
No, he misses like every other week. Absolutely. He's reminds me almost of like a. I don't want to say it. Never mind.
But Kellen Moore is a great offensive coordinator.
Oh yeah, he's great.
Amazing.
Been running the sound play.
I mean, look what he made Dak do.
You watch what Dak does this year. Don't we have a bet?
It's Dak's birthday
Don't we
today,
have-
by the
yeah, it
way.
is. Happy birthday, Dak.
30 years old.
Don't we have a bet going on with Dak?
Yeah, if Jordan Love is better than him,
Yeah, better stats.
and then you have to pay for my whole trip to Mexico.
No, that's not what we agreed on. We
We did it on a jersey.
We did do it on a jersey.
Yeah, and there's also I found this new website where you like get mystery jerseys delivered, and we should what's it called when you open them on live stream?
Talking about mystery jerseys, guys. If y'all are just now getting in here, we are doing a raffle right now for a Diggs jersey.
And the good dig, Stefan, not Trevon.
Stefan Diggs jersey. You can go ahead and enter in that raffle. I think it's $25.
$25.
$25 for a spot. You'll
If
get
you
a
comment PFE, I'll give you a spot for 15.
There you go. He's giving discounts over here, commenting in PFE. So y'all can go ahead and get in on the raffle. And then once we get the spots filled up, we'll go ahead and name the winner and get it shipped out to you. Or hand it to you.
Hopefully I win. That'd be nice.
You can't win.
I'm a PFE fan.
Kaylee was asking me. She was like, "Don't you like that player?" And I was like, "Yeah." And she was like, "Well, get into it." I was like, "Kaylee, I can't win."
She can.
No, that's not how it works. I was like, "I can't win. If I win, it's rigged."
It was really hard for me to auction it off
Yeah,
because I wanted it, but
absolutely.
someone has to buy diapers around here. So honestly, that's all that money goes towards the show. So if you play, you help us support us, so we can pay for this restream.
Yeah, that we just paid for.
But yeah, Kellen Moore, greatest OC in the NFL.
Get out of here. I'm moving on from that because that was just a stupid comment. Russell Wilson, he's trimmed down, and you could look to see him probably run more, kind of like he did in Seattle. I think that's what really set him back last year.
Well, isn't he like 37 years old now?
He's not 37. I think he's like 33, 32.
Really?
Yeah.
Let me see that.
See him start running the board. See him running the ball a little bit more.
He's 34.
Yeah, he's not. I mean, he's still got moves.
That's
though.
crazy. Well,
He's still quick.
I thought he was the same age as his wife. He's not.
no.
She's 37.
Yeah, no. He got himself an older lady. all I'm gonna say. But yeah,
You think he's gonna run around the field?
I think
I love watching Russell when he's dynamic like
exactly. I think they have to bring that back, and I think Sean Payton's gonna be able to bring the most out of it.
that. I could see that.
There's gonna be a lot of play action, I'm sure. They're gonna run the ball. They're gonna make sure to be versatile and that they do play actions, bootlegs, getting them out of the pocket, to make sure that the defense has to stay guessing.
Yeah. Speaking of Russell Wilson, there's another guy who I think is going to play a lot like him in his career. Good old Ritter. How do you think he's going to do this year?
He's gonna get benched.
For who?
Taylor Heineke. What do you mean?
Oh my gosh,
dude! I am on the Taylor Heineke train.
I love Taylor Heineke too, but he is nothing but we already discussed this on the show.
Yeah, I know.
He's the new Ryan Fitzpatrick,
and I love it. I think he will end up taking over before the end of the season because that division's so bad. So you got to see. It's got to see if the coaches see the vision in it, because if they want to win now, make playoffs this year, they'll end up putting Taylor Heineke.
Not Spencer. I always want to say Spencer Rattler. Freaking
no, it's Desmond.
I know, but every time I hear Ritter, I think of a guy from OU, and I always say Spencer.
Spencer, he plays for South Carolina.
Yeah, South Carolina. But
anyways, no, I think if they want to make the playoffs this year, because they have a good chance to. Their division's trash. They're not very good.
They have a very explosive offense. If they ever,
their defense has to be able to hold up.
I know, because they have Pitts, they have Cordero, they have Bijan, they have Drake London.
They got
I'm high on Drake London.
They got good talent. Yeah. I think he'll end up. I think Taylor Heineke is going to end up taking over that starting position. I actually already picked him up in fantasy.
As long as they throw the ball at Pitts and Drake London every play, I don't really care who's behind center.
I mean, as long as they just hand it off to Bijan and watch that ball.
Well, you ain't getting Bijan this year, so it don't matter.
I've already got Bijan in one of my leagues.
Yeah, that's right.
Not every league's about you, Justin.
Well, that's because the leagues I'm not in are awful.
What do you
Can
mean?
you tell me your two running backs in this league that you have Bijan? I already know. I just want the listeners to understand that this league has no idea what they're doing.
So honestly,
it's Jahmyr Gibbs, and Bijan. How do you get the two best rookie running backs in the same draft?
I mean,
no, that's impossible.
It's not impossible. I did it. To be honest,
in a dynasty,
my team is pretty. They're pretty young. I went super young on my team.
Was this a first year dynasty?
Yeah, this was the first year dynasty.
So that's why.
Well, yeah, we've already went through that step. My team for this first dynasty goes Bryce Young, which I had Dak Prescott, but I traded Dak Prescott for. I got rid of Dak Prescott and Amari Cooper for Bryce Young and Christian Kirk and a first-round pick next year.
Yeah, that's a really good trade.
Yeah. So I ended up getting Bryce Young, Bijan Robinson, Jahmyr Gibbs, Stephon Diggs, Christian Kirk. I don't know who I'm going to put as my starting tight end yet. It's either going to be Dalton Kincaid or David Njoku. Christian Watson, Aaron Jones, and my quarterbacks are pretty weak. I got Sam Howell, Taylor Heineke, and Kenny Pickett.
Sam Howell might have a deep average year this year. I've seen some good take on him.
I mean, in the last game, he destroyed Dallas.
Yeah,
so
that's not hard to do. So, but where was I going with my thoughts? Oh, speaking of drafts, our next episode we are actually going to do a mock draft.
You said that last week.
Well,
liar.
First off, I was about to let the people know. Our plan tonight was to do a mock draft, but it took us about 6 hours to get this all set up, and we all know the draft episode is going to be long. And so I have to at least go back to see my family at one time tonight. But hopefully, cross our fingers, tomorrow Zane's free enough to do a mock draft. If not, then we'll swing for the fences next week.
What's tomorrow? Tomorrow's Sunday?
Yeah.
No, dude, I'm going to be golfing.
Really? With who?
My buddy Logan.
That's fun. Where at?
We're either going to the course in Greenville or the course in Roar City. We don't set tee times over here.
Yeah, we know. I've never listened to you again. We'll share that another day. Probably the worst golf experience of my life. And Zane's lucky I love him, because if anyone else, I probably would have just left.
Why? We got to golf, didn't we?
Yeah, but I was so pissed at you, and I I just held it in.
Dude, I've never set a tee time at that golf course ever in my life. The one time you're like freaking out about it, it's because you were paranoid about it. That's why.
No, the guy literally said no.
Oh, you were paranoid. Did we golf? Did we golf that day? Yes or no?
We did.
Okay, I don't want to hear about it then.
But that day, yeah, it was wild. But yes, we are gonna have a mock draft episode, not tomorrow, because Zane thinks he's joining the tour. I might as well just bring Cameron back.
Might as well. Yeah, I'm pretty sure you flaked on me twice this week already, so I don't want to hear that.
I did because I was tired.
Because you were tired.
I was tired. We got a long season ahead of us. You gotta stay fresh. Keep the vocal cords fresh.
Yeah, your vocal cords will be fine.
Can't burn them out by week 1.
Prescott equals GOAT.
Yeah, that doesn't matter.
Come on, guy.
Prescott is
Got to be honest with yourself now.
probably the worst GOAT of all time.
No, he's not even on the GOAT status.
But
I'm realistic.
I am ready for the mock draft show. Everybody loves a little mock draft. And when it comes from two people who are very competitive here, I think the show might get a little intense.
We're going to have y'all
still in draft
radio
picks and whatnot. And I actually want to throw it out there to the listeners. If you want to join the mock draft, hit us up on Facebook, and we will send you the link whenever we start it.
Yeah, we're probably going to try it. I mean, I would imagine we try to do it.
It'll be at nighttime, so nobody will be working or anything.
Yeah.
Most.
Would you want to do that during
Cycle.
like a weekend? Shoot just a regular.
Well, next week I have a real draft. Next Saturday, we both do.
What's
An Eric's league.
that's next Saturday?
Yeah, and
We
I
can
have
stream that one.
I have 2, so we might. Yeah, we can stream our real draft for sure,
Yeah.
and we can get Eric on the show.
Yeah, no, that'd be fun.
Yeah, we can do that. We'll get with Eric on that. But this week during the week we can shoot for the mock draft episode, and we
Okay.
can let our fans draft with us if they would like. We might even swing Cameron back in from his house, and he can join the mock draft. But anyways, I don't have anything else on our agenda today. I really just wanted to touch updates on the NFL, get our voice out to our listeners. I know it's always nice to record some.
It's getting closer and closer, man. I'm so excited.
Yeah, I'm ready for it too, because it's always nice to have way more content.
It's always nice to know what exactly I'm going to be doing on every Sunday for like the next 20 weeks.
Yeah, that's basically how my life is. I get back from the road every Sunday around usually we leave the racetrack like at 8 or 9, get back around kickoff, and then I watch football all afternoon. Or if we go to church, then I watch it after church. So,
absolutely.
but no, I'm definitely ready for the season to kick off. We're getting closer, and we'll have way more content coming up too as training camp is launching.
Yeah.
So, but like always, we appreciate you. Thank you for tuning in. I'm Justin.
And I'm Zane. Peace.
Later.